Hi there. Today we will discuss the main issues on mozzarella cheese. Specifically, we will provide a critical analysis of the food system we have selected and the issues that we wrote about in our individual report.
Mozzarella cheese is consumed worldwide and is one of the most popular cheeses in Italy and has a 25% share of the cheese market. Italy is one of the top countries that produce and consume mozzarella cheese. It produced 253,000 tons of mozzarella in 2015 and consumed 4.6 kilograms per capita per year. Mozzarella comes in many different shapes and sizes, and perhaps is most famous for its use as a topping in pizza and pasta dishes. It has a creamy white color, a milky flavor, and a high moisture content, and can be easily found in grocery stores and specialty stores.
To start off, I will discuss the production of mozzarella cheese. To manufacture mozzarella cheese, milk must be produced using a straightforward technique. Bovines are artificially inseminated to become pregnant. Hormones, including progesterone and estrogen, are generated throughout the third trimester, helping to build the milk duct system. Once a bovine gives birth to its calf, milking production begins with the use of a milking machine. There are two methods that can be used to make mozzarella: high moisture or low moisture mozzarella. High moisture mozzarella is made using raw milk, whereas low moisture mozzarella is made using curds. The main issue that will be discussed in the production of mozzarella cheese is the animal cruelty that is prevalent in the dairy farms. Specifically, there are two topics that will be discussed: welfare outcomes and husbandry provisions. Welfare outcomes include the physical and emotional state of the cow, the milking machine, and BST will be discussed. Husbandry provisions include the nutrition and housing of the animal. Dairy cows' vulnerability to heat stress is a significant issue for dairy farmers. The cow's physical and behavioral state is affected when they are confined in small stalls during hot days. When cows generate and absorb more heat than they are capable of handling, their bodies develop excessive heat loads. Several things start to influence the cow's body when they are stressed, including decreased milk output, fertility, and changes in their appetites. If their heat loads are not regulated, it can result in the death of the cow within a few hours. Furthermore, the milking machine was developed to make cows and produce milk in a faster way. The device has a vacuum with teat cups that are inserted into the cow's teat canals. The vacuum has different levels of suction. The greater the suction, the more milk will be produced. The use of the vacuum can result in teat sphincter. Teat sphincter develops when the vacuum begins to pressurize the teat canals to elicit a higher yield of milk. This and the pressure causes a great amount of stress on the dairy farm's cows. Lastly, as a result of the growing demand for more animal byproducts, there has been a parallel increase in cow abuse. BSG is a growth hormone that is used to increase milk production. Dairy farmers are excessively using the drug to produce more milk that the cows cannot handle. High counts of hormones have been found in the cow's mammary gland. These excessive hormones has increased the levels of steroids and estrogen in the cow's body. This has affected their hormone balance, which also affects other stuff such as fertility, their milk yield, and their physical and mental well being. When milking a cow, it is important to know that they should rarely ever feel a sense of fear. However, many dairy cows are nurtured throughout their lives in confinement and darkness. Many dairy cows have developed chronic anxiety because of these crucial living conditions. Mastitis, an infection of the mammary gland, is a common complication of chronic anxiety. A mammary gland that is irritated will produce milk abnormally. Due to the high costs of the medications and the equipment that is needed to treat this disorder/disease, many dairy farmers will simply slaughter the cow once they discover it is ill. Solutions must be set in place to achieve positive welfare outcomes and husbandry provisions. We must traditionally adopt the ways that many other people did back in the day. Traditionally, there would be one cow per 1 acre of green land, and on average, they would spend 200 days of the year outdoors. This allowed the cow to be healthy and to be away from any confinement. The production of too much milk needs to be solved by humans restricting themselves from the consumption of cheese. If the demand for mozzarella decreases, this will allow dairy cows to achieve a better quality of life.
The processing stage of mozzarella cheese begins when the milk is transported from the farm to the manufacturing plant. This processing method is called pasta filata. The milk is stored and followed by the processes of filtration, standardization, and pasteurization. The milk is incubated with a starter containing thermophilic bacteria, and then rennet is added to form the curds. The curds are then heated in water and whey until they form strings. Then the curds are stretched, molded, and firmed. Once ready, the mozzarella cheese is packaged, stored, and transported to the distribution center. The processing of mozzarella cheese has negative impacts on the environment. The refrigerant gases cause ozone depletion. The wastewater treatment in the plant can cause freshwater eutrophication and ecotoxicity. The high biochemical oxygen demand levels in the wastewater can lead to aquatic oxygen depletion and death of aquatic organisms. In addition, heavy usage of electricity contributes to climate change and ecotoxicity. One of the negative social impacts of mozzarella cheese processing is contamination by Listeria bacteria. Listeria is an intestinal bacteria that has a negative impact, especially on pregnant individuals and children. This happens due to unsanitary conditions in factories and improper good manufacturing practices. This is not only a concern for public health, but also for the workers handling the cheese. Control methods for listeria for infectious control should be implemented, and they include good hygiene and manufacturing practices, implementation of a food safety management system, pasteurization, and safe food handling.
Moving on to the mozzarella is produced from water buffaloes or cow's milk. It takes numerous forms which are sold in vacuum sealed packages, those are most common, plastic lidded containers, or they're sold in brine. Packaging plays a significant role in impacting the environment. Along with that, as a result, there has been a threat to wildlife and negative health impacts on humans. Despite the fact that mozzarella is made of pasteurized milk, the packaging must be capable of preserving it additional regardless if there is brine to keep it perishable for a period of time. Packaging plays a significant role in impacting the environment, and unfortunately the majority of the impact is, if not all, is damaging. Because of materials used in packaging, cheese, and food, there's been a threat to wildlife and negative health impacts on humans. Now, the main issues that consist with packaging mozzarella cheese is that it impacts the wildlife by creating toxic chemicals and injuring species. It causes environmental impacts by pollution or damaging ecosystems, or it impacts the human life by creating health conditions. Moving on to wildlife and environmental impacts. Animals are being driven out of their natural habitats. Along with that, toxins are being released into the environment, which are endocrine disrupting chemicals. Hormones of the animals are being altered and destructed, causing injurious effects to species, interfering with fertility and causing deformities. Moving on to environmental impacts, packaging accounts for 54% of water scarcity and unavailability. Large quantities of land occupied for 30 or more years are being used to grow trees for cardboard manufacturing. Land occupation and packaging is the greatest harm to aquatic creatures and contamination of fresh water. Packaging is the second largest contributor to natural resource depletion, photochemical oxidant production, and acidification. Now the human health impact. When packaging food, numerous endocrine disruptors are used in the process, most common one being the BPA. BPA is used in the production of plastic resin and found in surface water, biota, and soil. It contributes to health conditions such as thyroid disturbance, insulin resistance, immunotoxicity, weight gain, and cancer. Chemical migration from the packaging to the food being consumed is what's very common as well. Health effects include cardiac toxicity, liver damage, pulmonary effects, asthma, neurological development or impairment. 92% of children and adults in the US have BPA found in their systems, causing toxic chemicals to be an injurious impact to their human health. Moving on to the solution for packaging. Reducing packaging amount to necessary amounts in order to preserve the well-being of the environment, wildlife, and human life could be an option. Additionally, converting to eco-sustainable packaging would lead to a safer lifestyle. And finally, changing the method of disposing packaging or sizing to avoid wasting or creating large packaging for small items could be another solution. All in all, these methods can help save wildlife, human life, and impact the ecosystem in a positive way, leading to a safer lifestyle. In conclusion, it is prevalent that the food chain system or the process in making mozzarella has many issues that needs to be addressed, starting from animal cruelty, environmental impacts, and the negative impacts it has on human health. We spoke about our solutions during the presentation. However, it is important to emphasize that we must make these changes in order to have a clean process and to save the ecosystem.